Well, good evening there, folks, and welcome to another episode of 162 Times, your daily baseball recap and preview show. I'm your host, Daniel Turner. It's great to be with you, and we have, I believe, officially reached the halfway point in the season. I think this is episode 81, if not 82. I'm never quite sure when I hit record because I can't go back and look at the... Anyway. Either way, 162 times divided by 2 is 81. So if we're at the 81 or the 82nd show, then that means we are halfway through the season. And so tonight we're going to bring you. We're a little bit late. We've been really good the last week. We've been bringing you the show directly after, the game or the next morning or something like that. Anyway, things have been busy around here. So tonight we are bringing you the recap of the Tuesday night game. We are currently Wednesday night, quite late. The Wednesday game has already been played. I won't spoil it for you. I'll put that together in an episode tomorrow. And then we will preview, therefore, that final matchup of the series. And before we go, of course, we will also take a look around the out-of-town scoreboard on Tuesday, June 25th. So, we are nearing the end of June. Let's get into it. The Mariners are mired in a terrible road trip right now. They dropped 2 out of 3 to Cleveland. They dropped 2 out of 3 to Miami. And unfortunately, they have dropped at least 2 out of 3 to the Tampa Bay Rays. They lost on Tuesday night by a score of 11-3. It wasn't really close. The Mariners are now 45-37, still first in their division. The Rays are 40-40, still fourth in the American League East. The win went to pitcher Garrett Clevenger, not Mike Clevenger. He's now 5-1 with a 3.0 ERA. Luis Castillo took the loss for the Mariners. He's now 6-9 with a 3.79 ERA. Overall in the game, the Mariners had 6 hits. They committed 2 errors, scored only 3 runs, whereas the Rays had 11 hits for 11 runs and committed no errors. That's a better way to perform in a ball game. In terms of the pitching lines, well, we had Luis Castillo. He went 5 1/3, 5 hits, 4 runs. All of them were earned. He walked 4 and he struck out 4 and he gave up a homer. The Tampa starter was Zach Littell. He went 5 full innings, gave up 4 hits, 2 runs. Both of them earned, 1 walk, 6 Ks, and he gave up a homer. The Mariners bullpen struggled. So it was Mike Baumann out first. He did only a third of an inning, only got 1 out. He gave up 2 hits, 2 runs. Both of them earned, and one of them was a home run. Then it was Eduardo Bazardo. He pitched a full inning, gave up 1 hit, 3 runs, all of them earned. He walked 2 and struck out 2. His ERA is 8.78 on the season. And then Cody Bolton had the 4 remaining outs of the 8 innings that the Mariners had to pitch. He went for 3 hits, 2 runs, none of them were earned, and he struck out 2 and also gave up a homer. The Rays bullpen was much better. It was Clevenger, a full inning, 2 Ks. Phil Maton, 1 inning. He gave up a hit, a run, an earned run. He struck out 1, and the run was off a Mitch Garver homer. And then it was Uceda, who did the last 2 innings. He gave up only 1 hit and struck out 2. Overall on the night, the Rays struck out 11 Mariners, walked only 1. The Mariners struck out 8 Rays and walked 6. Not a recipe for success. In terms of the scoring, Yandy Diaz in the bottom of the first, his 7th homer of the year, 1-0 Tampa. Bottom of 2, Jose Siri, line drive, scored Richie Palacios, 2-0 Tampa at that point. Top 5, Ty France homered with Jorge Polanco on base, tied the game at 2. Good for you, Ty. But, bottom of 6, Taylor Walls for the Rays tripled, scoring Richie Palacios again and Jose Siri again. 4-2 Tampa at that point. Then it was catcher Ben Rortvedt. Homered. He seems to be eating up the Mariners in this series. Taylor Walls was on base, so a 2-run shot, 6-2 at that point. Then top 7, Mitch Garver gets one back with a solo shot, his 10th of the year, 6-3. Good to see Mitch swinging a bat well. But that was the only other run the Mariners managed. And in the bottom of the 7th, Richie Palacios singled, scoring Josh Lowe. It's Josh Lowe and Brendan Lau, by the way, in case you were wondering. Then Ben Rortvedt singled again, scoring Palacios and Siri again. And then there was an error by Luke Raley that allowed Taylor Walls to advance. Bottom of 8, Isaac Paredes homered. Jose Caballero was on base. That was the final run that the Rays scored. It was 11-3 at that point. That was your final. The errors for the Mariners were Luke Raley fielding and pitcher Cody Bolton fielding. They turned one double play, the Mariners did. They left 3 on base. They were 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position. They grounded into only 1 double play. So did Tampa. Tampa was 6 for 13 with runners in scoring position. That is a recipe for success, and they left 6 on base. They also stole 2 bags. 3 bags. Josh Lowe stole 2 bags, and Richie Palacios scored 1. So a classic Tampa Bay Rays outing. Julio struck out 3 times. Mitch Garver struck out 3 times. He did also homer. Nothing much to speak of on the offensive side of things other than Ty France was 2 for 3 with a run scored and 2 RBI. So they're going to look for bigger and better things on Wednesday. And while we know that that game has already occurred, we will still tee it up for you. So Wednesday, it's an afternoon game. The final, the Rays have won, the first 2 games of this series. Obviously, that's not ideal. In terms of the starting pitchers, it's going to be George Kirby for the Mariners. He is 6-5 on the season. He'll be going up against Mr. Ryan Pepio, who is 4-3 on the season. So it should be a decent matchup in terms of pitching. For the lineups, the Rays are going to be rolling out Yandy Diaz batting first, playing first. Josh Lowe, right field, batting second. Randy Arozarena, left field, batting third. Isaac Paredes, third base, cleaning up. Richie Palacios, DHing, batting fifth. Ahmed Rosario, second base, batting sixth. Jose Siri in center field, batting seventh. Jose Caballero, shortstop, batting eighth. And the catcher for the Rays is Mr. Jackson, Alex Jackson. On the Mariners side of things, it'll be J.P. Crawford leading off and playing short. Josh Rojas batting second and playing third. Julio Rodriguez playing center field, batting third. Cal will DH and bat fourth. Ty France will play first and bat fifth. Mitch Garver will catch the George Kirby game. He'll bat sixth, Dom Canzone will start in right and bat seventh. Dylan Moore in left field, batting eighth, and Ryan Bliss, second base, batting ninth. Interesting lineup. So we see Polanco out of the lineup after having coming back, and we see Canzone getting a start, and obviously Mitch Garver at catcher is an interesting thing. Mariners need to win this one. There's no other way to say it. They got to win. They got to avoid the sweep, and then they got to get their butts on a plane, enjoy their day off, and get ready for the Twins, who are coming to Seattle on the weekend. All right, before we go, we will just run through the out-of-town scoreboard and see if it was favorable or not to the Mariners. So, Guardians beat the Orioles 10-8. Great game there. Great series there. Tigers over the Phils 4-1 in Detroit. Pirates over the Reds 9-5 in Cincinnati. Jays beat the Red Sox finally 9-4. That was down in Boston. Good for them. Mets over the Yankees 9-7. Aaron Judge had a grand slam late in that game to make it close, but not close enough. Astros beat the Rockies 5-2. That's at home against the Rockies. I mean, you'd expect the Astros to win those games. Dodgers over the White Sox 4-3. Marlins over the Royals 2-1. Royals are reeling 43-38 now. They had done so well to start the season. Bit of good news. The Brewers over the Rangers 3-1. And then the Angels over the Athletics 7-5. The Padres over the Nationals 9-7. The D-backs over the Twins 5-4. That's also good for the Mariners. Giants over the Cubbies 5-1, and the Braves and Cardinals were postponed due to inclement weather, and they will make that game up on June 26th, the date of this recording. All right, so we will look anxiously ahead to Sunday because the Mariners are in danger of playing a game called How to Lose a Division Lead in 10 Days. And it's not a charming Matthew McConaughey, Kate Hudson comedy. It is a devastating spiral that Mariner fans are all too used to. But you know what? We're going to pull out of it. We're going to right the ship. We are Mariners after all, and we're going to go to the All-Star break on a winning note. That's how I feel about things. We'll check in with you tomorrow and bring you that third game of the series, among other things. Thanks as always for listening.